Messi. To most, he's the magician of football, the quiet genius whose left foot carved history. But behind the trophies, the records, and the endless highlight reels lies a fortune that redefines what it means to be wealthy. From billion-dollar contracts to private jets, luxury homes that rival royalty, and endorsement deals that dwarf the salaries of Hollywood stars. Messi didn't just play football, he built an empire. The story begins in Rosario, Argentina, where he was once dismissed as too small, too fragile, a boy who might never even grow tall enough to play professionally. Yet, from those humble beginnings, Messi would rise to command contracts worth hundreds of millions, becoming one of the richest footballers alive. Today, his net worth isn't just staggering, and it's the kind of wealth that buys not just freedom, but legacy. But here's the truth most fans never see. Messi's true fortune isn't just about what he earned kicking a ball. It's about what he built around the game. The houses, the cars, the jet that carries his family around the globe, and the billion-dollar endorsements that turned his image into gold. What Messi owns off the pitch is a story of palaces, fleets, and fortunes that rival kings. And to understand it, we need to start where it all began, in Rosario, Argentina, a working-class city where dreams were fragile and money was scarce. In a small house shared with his siblings, young Lionel Messi's childhood was marked not by luxury, but by struggle. His father worked in a steel factory, his mother cleaned houses. They stretched every peso just to keep food on the table. Messi shared a room with his brothers, sleeping inches apart, with little more than a ball at his feet and a dream in his heart. At just 11 years old, tragedy struck his ambitions. Messi was diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency. The treatment cost $1,000 per month, more than his family could earn in almost an entire year. Imagine the cruel irony. The boy destined to become a billionaire couldn't afford the medicine that would allow him to grow. But fate intervened. FC Barcelona sent scouts to see the boy who played like no one else. And when they saw him, they didn't just see a child, they saw the future. In one of the most legendary stories in football, Messi's first professional contract was signed not in a boardroom, but on a napkin in a cafe. That napkin was more than a contract. It was a lifeline. That scrap of paper didn't just buy Messi's future. It built the first step of a billion-dollar empire. And what came next in Barcelona would rewrite the history of football and fortune. Barcelona wasn't just a football club for Messi, it was the factory of his fortune. His first contracts may have seemed modest, but they snowballed into history-making sums. Over his 2 decades at the club, Messi earned over $600 million in salaries alone. That's before you add bonuses, performance incentives, and the endless endorsement deals that flowed his way. Adidas locked him into a lifetime partnership, ensuring his face and his name would never leave the billboards. Pepsi, Gatorade, and countless global brands lined up to be associated with him. By his mid-20s, Messi was already earning over $100 million per year, making him one of the highest paid athletes on the planet. But this wasn't just money, this was wealth on a scale his family could never have imagined. From a boy who couldn't afford his growth treatment to a man whose single week's salary could buy entire neighborhoods in Rosario, Messi had flipped the script on destiny. And yet, here's the twist, even billions from football weren't enough to satisfy the hunger of greatness. Because while Messi was rewriting record books on the pitch, another battle was unfolding off it. A battle of brands, a battle of lifestyles, a battle that wasn't measured in goals, but in fortunes. And when you put Messi's empire side by side with Cristiano Ronaldo's, the truth becomes clear. The greatest rivalry in football wasn't just on the field, it was in the bank. For over a decade, football's greatest rivalry wasn't just about goals, trophies, or Ballon d'Ors. It was about 2 men who turned the sport into a stage for global dominance: Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. And while the pitch told one story, their fortunes off it told another. Cristiano built his empire as the showman. Bold, flashy, unapologetically extravagant. He's paraded Bugattis, gold watches, and billion-dollar deals like trophies of wealth. Messi, on the other hand, became the quiet billionaire. Reserved, understated, yet every bit as rich. The difference? Messi doesn't need to flaunt. His bank account speaks louder than any Instagram post. By the numbers, it's breathtaking. Messi's net worth hovers at over $600 million, with lifetime deals, club contracts, and brand endorsements pushing him toward billion billionaire status. Ronaldo's fortune stands in similar territory, sparking constant debates about who's truly richer. While Ronaldo's image is carefully crafted around being a global icon, Messi's wealth was built quietly, almost secretly. In the shadows, his investments, homes, and assets rival not just Ronaldo's, but actual royalty. This rivalry wasn't just about football greatness, it was about who could build the bigger empire, the larger fortune, the grander legacy. And every time Messi scored, every time Ronaldo answered, fans weren't just keeping score in stadiums, they were keeping score in the bank. But to truly measure Messi's empire, you have to look beyond contracts and comparisons. You have to step inside his world, and it starts with his palaces, mansions so grand they rival royalty itself. If football made Messi a global icon, real estate crowned him a modern monarch. His homes aren't just addresses, they're declarations of dominance. Let's take a tour. In Spain, Messi's longtime Barcelona base is nestled on the Mediterranean coast. The $7 million plus mansion sits so close to the shoreline that the sea breeze meets the pool with every sunrise. It comes complete with a private football pitch, indoor gym, and panoramic terraces, an athlete's sanctuary that doubles as a fortress. Back home in Rosario, Messi spared no expense building a palace known as La Fortaleza. It boasts roughly 25 rooms, including a cinema for 40, a semi-Olympic swimming pool, a sprawling gym, and an underground garage that fits 15 cars. A Mercedes battlefield in steel and stone. For reference, that's more garage space than most luxury dealerships. Then, Miami. Messi didn't just move, he arrived into the pinnacle of architectural opulence. His Porsche-designed tower penthouse isn't the kind of place you live in, it's a place you arrive in, descending in your supercar using a car elevator, driving directly into your sky-mounted garage just steps from your living room. The unit, estimated between $5 million and $9 million depending on the report, is decked out with sweeping ocean views, floor-to-ceiling windows, and robotic glam. But Messi's Miami real estate game didn't stop there. He's doubled, then tripled his footprint, snapping up 4 more ultra-luxury units at the upcoming Cipriani residences, one alone priced at $7.5 million. When completed in 2028, these apartments will stand as a temple to luxury, complete with private pools, a speakeasy, concierge service, and even a private restaurant. These homes transcend space. They tell a story, from a shared bedroom in Rosario to a lifetime of global luxury. And while those palaces shine bright, Messi's true power lies on 4 wheels. Buckle up for the fleet of supercars that follow. If you thought Messi's fortune stopped at bricks and glass, think again. His garages across Barcelona, Paris, Miami, and Rosario aren't just storage, they're treasure vaults. Machines so rare they look more like museum pieces than cars. Take the Ferrari 335S Spider Scaglietti, worth a staggering $36 million, making it one of the most expensive cars ever sold in history. And sitting beside it, the Pagani Zonda Tricoloro, a hypercar so rare only 3 exist in the entire world. Market estimates place its value at over $13 million today. Most billionaires couldn't even buy one if they tried. But Messi owns one. He didn't just buy a hypercar, he secured a piece of automotive legend. And while Ronaldo might flex his Bugatti lifestyle, Messi plays a different game, casually cruising around Barcelona in his Audi R8 Spider, then pulling up to training in a fleet of Maseratis, Range Rovers, and a Lexus LX 570 for family comfort. That blend of hyper luxury and everyday practicality only adds to his mystique. In total, Messi's car collection is valued at over $50 million. To put that into perspective, that's enough to buy an entire luxury apartment block in Miami, the kind of building where people dream of owning just one unit. And here's the twist. Messi doesn't flaunt them on Instagram every day. To him, these aren't toys for clout. They're silent flexes, a reflection of how money has never been the goal but always the byproduct. But as jaw-dropping as these wheels are, there's a limit, because cars can only take you so far. And for Messi, the real crown jewel of travel wasn't on the road. It was above the clouds, luxury in the sky, because for Messi, the road was just the beginning. Messi doesn't just live like a king on land, he rules the skies too. His ride, a Gulfstream V, a $15 million flying palace. From the outside, it's sleek and powerful, stamped with the number 10 on its tail, a reminder of the shirt that turned him into a legend. Step inside, and it feels less like a jet, and more like a luxury apartment at 40,000 feet. There's space for 16 passengers, with seats that transform into full beds. A modern kitchen sits ready for long-haul journeys, while a family family lounge creates a home in the sky. Every flight feels like Messi's version of a 5-star hotel suite, except he doesn't share it with strangers, only those closest to him. And then there's the detail that makes this jet truly priceless. Engraved into the steps are the names of his family: Antonela, Tiago, Matteo, and Ciro. For Messi, every takeoff is a reminder that his greatest treasures travel with him. While most celebrities flex their first-class tickets, Messi treats international borders like side streets. Barcelona to Paris, Rosario to Miami, Ibiza in between. His Gulfstream isn't just transport, it's freedom, it's power. It's proof that Messi doesn't wait in line. The world waits for him, but even this sky throne can't match his most valuable empire, because Messi's greatest legacy isn't measured in cars or jets. It's the dynasty that waits every time he lands. Behind every empire stands a family, and for Messi, the crown jewel of his legacy isn't the cars, the mansions, or even the billions. It's Antonela Roccuzzo, his childhood sweetheart turned global powerhouse. Long before the Forbes lists, Antonela was by his side in Rosario. Today, she's more than Messi's partner. She's a businesswoman with her own empire. Her ventures include collaborations with luxury fashion brands, a thriving presence in the beauty industry, and a co-ownership stake in a clothing line. Millions of followers track her every move online, making Antonela one of Argentina's most influential women. Together, they are a power couple that blends football greatness with fashion, business, and cultural impact. And then there's the wedding. In 2017, the world watched as Rosario hosted what the press called Argentina's royal wedding. Messi and Antonela's ceremony, with an estimated price tag of over $10 million, was attended by football royalty, global celebrities, and guarded by 200 security officers. For a boy who once struggled to afford medical treatments, this was the ultimate full-circle moment. The dynasty doesn't end there. Their 3 sons, Tiago, Matteo, and Ciro, are already growing up between Barcelona, Miami, and private jet runways. They're heirs not just to a footballing legacy, but to a billion-dollar lifestyle. To Messi, the fortune isn't a trophy, it's a shield, ensuring his children never face the struggles he once knew. And that's the silent flex. Ronaldo might show off Bugattis, Neymar might headline nightclubs. Messi, he's building a dynasty brick by brick, deal by deal. But the family empire's only half the story, because off the pitch, Messi has played his sharpest game yet in the world of business. Messi didn't just become rich by scoring goals, he became a billionaire by playing the business game smarter than most. Today, his move to Inter Miami is legendary, not just for football, but for finance. His deal is worth an estimated $150 million over 2.5 years, including salary, bonuses, and an ownership stake that grants him 10% of the club upon retirement. That stake alone could now be worth $200 million, and that's before MLS revenue surges, ticket sales, or Apple TV's MLS Season Pass brings in its share. Even more powerful, Messi earns an estimated $20.4 million a year in a league where that surpasses the payrolls of 21 entire MLS teams. And he didn't take the easy route. He turned down Saudi offers rumored to be in the $400 million per year range, betting on legacy over raw cash. Off the pitch, Messi is quietly scaling a luxury empire. His MiM Hotels chain has begun a public listing in Europe with a valuation exceeding 223 million euros, spanning properties in Ibiza, Sitges, Baqueira, Mallorca, Andorra, and Cadiz. There's money indoors, not just goals. And the endorsements? Adidas locked Messi into a lifetime deal valued at $1 billion with $25 million annual payouts, a contract only him and Beckham have ever secured. Add to that partner deals with Pepsi, MasterCard, and global brands that don't just pay, they elevate his image into a multi-industry brand. To put it bluntly, $150 million Miami deal, $200 million club equity, $20 million plus annual income, $250 million hotel empire. That's not just athlete wealth, that's billionaire infrastructure. And yet, even this empire isn't Messi's final form. Because while others chase profits, Messi is chasing footprint, and that's when things go beyond money into legend. From the dirt fields of Rosario to the billion-dollar mansions of Miami, from sharing a cramped bedroom with his siblings to owning hotels that line the coasts of Spain, from a boy who needed growth hormone treatments just to stand tall to a man whose name now towers over the entire world. This is Lionel Messi. His story proves money doesn't just buy luxury, it builds legacy, because Messi's empire isn't measured only in yachts, jets, or mansions. It's measured in the dreams he inspired, the records he shattered, and the lives his story will touch long after the final whistle blows. And here's the kicker. In a world where he could have taken $400 million a year to play in Saudi Arabia, he chose legacy instead. Messi showed the world that his name, his story, and his myth are worth more than all the money in the desert. This is the elite's vault, where legends are unlocked, secrets revealed, and fortunes exposed. If you want more stories like Messi's, subscribe now, because the vault only opens for those inside.